to Java. In this particular exercise, we'll be doing Units 3, Exercise 4. And you can do this in the MindTap program if you'd like. But here we're going to just do it in JGrasp. So you can download the Unit 3 Exercise 4 instructions. And you can download the starter code for the numbers demo.java. So I've got both of them there. There's the numbers Java demo code, starter code. And here is the instructions. And the instructions tell us that we're supposed to open up the starter code in JGrasp and write an application whose main methods hold two integer variables and assign values to the variables. In turn, pass each value to methods named. Here they're giving us some methods. Display twice the number, display the number plus 5, and display the number squared. Create each method to perform the task its name implies. For example, display twice the number given the value 10 should display the following. 10 times 2 is 20. And then part B, we modify the numbers demo class to accept the values of the two integers from a user at the keyboard. Save and compile the code in JGrasp. Run it, make sure it's free from bugs. Okay then. So let's get this started, shall we? Let's open up JGrasp. And we're going to have a new Java document. And we're going to save it. Click the Save button. And we're going to call this file, what's the name of this exercise? Numbersdemo.java. So just type it in, numbers. Java demo.java. So we'll just click Save. So we'll just copy and paste our numbers demo starter code in here. Okay. Copy and paste it. So you see we've got a scanner class here, so we're looking for user input. That's the part B. So we've got our public class numbers demo here. We got our main method here, public static void main. So here's where they want us to write our method for twice the number. Here's we want the public method for the number plus 5 and the public method for the number squared right after these comments. Okay, so I need to declare my variables here. Okay, so I want to test this on two integers. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to have them integers. And I'll call the first one number 1 and number 2. How about just num1 and num2? Since they're both integers, I can just declare them on the same line. You can give them their own lines if you want to. I'll call num1. Oops, can't have a space in my name here. I'll have that equal to 10. And I'll put num2 equal to 16. Okay, so I want to call my methods here, but first before I call them, I'm going to write them. So I come down here, and this is public. So my method's public. and it's called display twice the number. So I come down and I'm going to write my code public, static, void. What's the name of it? Display twice the number. Okay, so we're going to get an int and we'll call n. It's going to be integer we're going to use, and we're going to call that variable n for, let me put my curly braces in. I call this factor, okay? Are we going to be able to change that too? No. So we're going to make it a constant variable. Call it, capitalize everything. Factor equals 2. So as part of my method, I'm going to print out a sentence in system out. Print line. So you use this variable n here. And we'll concatenate to it our string. Here word times. I keep forgetting my spaces in here. So what I'm going to concatenate to that, what? The factor, right? And that's all caps. Because it's a constant, not a variable. It's not going to change. In this particular method, it's always going to be 2. Because it's twice this number, right? Factor plus. And our string here, space, is space. And we're going to do our multiplication here, n times factor. Concatenate n times factor. Here we go, make sure everything's in place. So our first method is written. Let's write our second method. Display the number plus 5 method here. So I'll just put in here, just like we did before, public static void. And this is called display number plus 5. And what are we returning? We're returning an integer, and we'll call this one n2. Okay, now we're going to put our curly braces here. So we're going to declare a final integer, and this factor is going to be 5. And once again, it's plus 5, so it's a constant variable. It's not going to change. We're going to print out for this one, we're going to print out n plus factor is, then we do our addition. N, we're going to concatenate plus another concatenate factor, once again a constant variable, plus is, space is, space n plus factor. Okay, so our final variable we're going to write is display number squared method here. So we're going to, it's public static void again. This one's called display number squared. And it's going to return an integer. We're going to call that one n again. Put in our curly braces in here. And we'll write our code here. We don't have to call any factor or anything like that. We just square the number. So we'll put out here system dot out dot println n. We're concatenate that plus blank squared blank. We're concatenate. Oops, I could put it. The word is in there. There we go. Then we'll put our formula, n times n. Okay, so I've got my three methods here. Let me push this one in. Here we go. Might as well push it in one more time. Should indent all my methods here. Just click my tab button. That's my personal preference because it's easier to read, I think. Alright, so now I need to call my methods. I've built my methods. Now I can go back into my main method here and I'm going to call my methods. So I've declared my variables. Let me push these in a little bit. Now I'm going to call my methods. Display twice the number for number 1. So I'm going to multiply num1 in here. Okay, so I'm using num1, which is 10. So my second one is display the number plus 5. And once again, I'm going to be using num1 in there. And then I'm going to do display the number squared. What am I using? num1, right? Now I'm going to do the same thing for number 2. Display twice the number. And this time I'm going to use num2. And display the number plus 5. And using num2. Then display number squared. And using num2. Okay, so now this looks okay. Make sure it comes all the way down. Yeah, it looks okay. Let me check it first. So let me save it. Okay, let me try and compile the code, see if I've got any mistakes. So basically it's telling me here that I'm missing something here, right? And sure am. I forgot to put in a concatenate symbol, a plus. So I just add my plus in here. And let me compile it again. So I'm going to add the file to new project. And the project's name just going to be numbers demo. Just click next. Add files to project now. Okay, just click create. And we'll just call this numbers demo. Click done. Here we go. So I've compiled my file now, and I've done all the crazy little things it tells me to do. Of course, don't worry about that now. You'll do all that later. So let me clear this and make sure that we're doing all right. Okay, now let me run it. I go build, run. So there you go. There's my statements. Okay, so now we're going to do the part B. Add user input. Modify the number of demo class to accept the values of the two integers from the user at the keyboard. We're going to do, we've already got the scanner class here, which is what you have to import in order to be able for the user to write information. As part of my variables, I'm going to bring in my scanner variable. We'll call it KB. And we'll call it new scanner. Of course, we have to system input. Okay, this can stay the same. We're still declaring number 1 and number 2. Okay, so this number 1, we want them to input it using the keyboard. So here we have the scanner keyboard. So I'll put in here KB dot next int. We're using the next int method that's already built into the scanner class. I'm going to put out here system out print line. Enter another integer. Oh, I need to put that right here, don't I? Sorry about that. Right before I declare system number 1, right? I have out here system out print. Enter an integer, please. A couple chevrons to show them where to enter it. Semicolon. So now we'll use num1. Whatever they enter in will be that. Okay? So now we'll ask for them to do that again, rather. A couple chevrons to show them where to put it. So instead of this being 16, this is going to be KB for keyboard. That's the scanner, right? Next int. Using the scanner method next int. Okay. Let me indent all this. Line it up nice and pretty, right? I'm going to save it. Do I have everything? I believe so. Let me run this and see if everything's correct. Let me clear this. Let me compile it. Yep. Let me build it. Click run. Oh, I forgot to capitalize the word system. My bad. Let's try that again. Save. Compile. I needed a period between the word out and print, right? Hadley. There you go. Click save. Under build, click compile. Let me clear this. Now let me run it. Under build, I click run. Enter integer, 15. Enter another integer, 72. So it says 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times plus 5 is 20. 15 squared is 255. 72 times 2 is 144. 72 plus 5 is 77. And 72 squared is 5184. All right, exactly what we wanted. So, once again, this is what I called them, num1, num2. I called the scanner KB for keyboard. But you can use whatever variable you think is good. But we have to use, according to the directions, display twice the number as the name, okay, of this method. And this is the name of this method, okay. You see we have, we're using the num1 in this method. See how this works? You can do this. Give it a shot. Talk to you later. Bye.